Welcome on in, everybody, to Big Play Big Bets. I'm Nick Padone. He is Big Play Dave.
What up,
What is
Nick?
going on, man?
How are you?
Not too bad. Ready to win some bets.
As always, par for the course. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We got a fun weekend ahead of us, so we are here to lock in some bets. As always, the show is presented to you guys by our friends over at Tipico Sportsbook. Tipico's changing the way that you bet with cash back rewards. Get the highest cash back in the land. Get the highest cash back of any sportsbook in Ohio, up to 5% cash back on your bets, guys. You hear us talking about it on the show every week. You got to go download Tipico to find out for yourself. Don't forget to cash in on our Big Play Boosts, where we're giving you the best odds on all of your favorite Ohio sports teams, players. Our parlay for the Guardians has been kind of hot, Dave, so make sure you guys go download that. You got to be 21 years or older to gamble in Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So, Dave, last week on the show, we were struggling. We want to talk some hockey. We want to bet some hockey.
Where do we start?
We start by bringing in the best NHL handicapper out there. Griffin Carroll at Griffey Bets joins us on the show to brief us on some hockey bets. What is up?
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, I saw a video of you not even sure if Crosby and Ovechkin were still in the league. I'm like, oh man, what did I sign up for? But I think we're gonna have some fun because this series is gonna be awesome.
Are they in the league?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we're on. Here we go.
We're 1-0 to start this thing off. Obviously, we have game one Saturday. To break down both of these teams, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. I understand as a sports observer that this has been a really fun playoff for the NHL to get to this point. So break down kind of briefly the Oilers, the Panthers, and how they got to this spot.
Yeah, I was surprised once this was locked in. The Twitter discourse seemed to be how this is like a disaster for the networks, and I could not disagree more. You know, on one side we got Edmonton. They have the best player in the world, Connor McDavid. Next time someone asks you who's a hockey player, you're going to need to have Connor McDavid in the head. He's the best player in the world, so obviously he's a massive reason why they're here. Oilers have been one of the best teams for the last couple of years. They fired their coach after just 2 weeks, and since have been one of the best teams in the NHL. On the flip side, Florida Panthers, they made it here last year as an 8 seed. They lost in 5 games. They're back. They got more players, better this season. They rolled through the East, and now they're back. Canada has not won a Stanley Cup in 31 years, so Edmonton has the whole country on its back right now. Florida's never won a Stanley Cup. And these have just been the 2 best teams for the majority of the season, so what more could you ask for than 2 of the best teams going at it?
Alrighty, who do you like to win this series? Before we jump into game one, when you look at some of the future bets that are out there, right now Florida is favored to win this series. Edmonton, a slight underdog at plus 115 odds for us on Tipico Sportsbook. Who do you like to win the Stanley Cup Final this year?
I like Florida. I have a Florida future in the pocket from March at plus 750.
Wow.
I've hedged that a little bit on the Edmonton side. But I just think you look at Florida, like I mentioned, they were here last year, so I don't think that experience can be discounted. They've got a better goaltender in Sergei Bobrovsky, is better than Stuart Skinner. They're deeper. You know, I mentioned the stars, McDavid, Leon Draisaitl's another name you should know. One of the best players in the league. Edmonton's got the stars, but Florida's just deeper. And in a sport like hockey, it's a little different than, NBA, where the stars are playing 44 minutes out of 48. These guys are playing just a third of the game as a star. So the depth definitely matters. And then last, I just think this might be a little too in the weeds, but Florida's done a really good job of shutting down stars this postseason. And if they can limit McDavid on the ice, what he can do, that's going to go a long way. So I do like Florida to win. I think if someone is like a hedging nerd who likes looking at odds and trying to guarantee a little bit of money, if Edmonton does win, Connor McDavid is going to win the Conn Smythe, which is the most valuable player award. But it's not just for the finals. It's a cumulative award for the entire postseason. So we have a lot of numbers to show who's going to win that. And he's around plus 250 compared to Edmonton being plus 115 to win. So if you think the Oilers are going to win, I would go in that direction. That is how I hedged my Florida future, but I think the Panthers are going to take it.
I appreciate you talking to us like 5-year-olds. I like that you threw out the disclaimer, not to get too in the weeds, but their defenders are good.
And I know too. So now we know 3 players because or 4 really, because Sergey, the goalkeeper, was Columbus's goalkeeper. I know that for sure.
Well, there you go.
so we know a few things now.
Who has the better fan base when you look at this matchup? I've only seen like one Oilers fan.
Edmonton. Yeah, we all saw the same Oilers fan, but it's got to be Edmonton, right? Because they got the whole country.
Both are so both are so rowdy when they're at home. I guess you got to say Edmonton. Just I don't know. Oh God, that's a hard question.
If you had to pick one to be most like a Cleveland fan, like a Cleveland Browns fan, which would you give the lean to there?
I would probably say the Oilers. I mean, I was getting so fired up their last home game. Just people are crying in the stands during the Canadian national anthem. Like you just gotta love that energy. So I guess I'll lean Edmonton's way.
All right, we've cried plenty. Yeah,
cool. Okay. All right, I like it. And then all right, we're ready to break down game 1 of this thing. Honestly, I don't even. Where is game 1 at? I think Florida, could be wrong there. And then what's kind of like the value to look out for? Because obviously we know now, McDavid goal scorer is probably going to be a favorite bet, but is there some other value in your eyes that's out there for game 1?
Yes. So game 1, it's in Florida.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. Overall, I think this series could be a gold mine for betting with a ton of goals, but I am a little hesitant to go too heavy tomorrow just because both teams haven't played in almost a week. There might be some nerves where maybe they're just feeling each other out a little bit more before they get aggressive. So I would try not to go too crazy tomorrow, although I am looking and I've already deployed way too many bets for tomorrow. So I don't often listen to my own advice, but hopefully someone else will. I was trying to think, I figured you would ask me this, and I was trying to think of a fun bet that you guys could root on as people who don't usually follow hockey, but you should watch this.
Yes.
And I'm going to recommend Stuart Skinner over saves, the Edmonton goalie.
Oh,
really, all you have to do, you sit back. I bet on some Florida players to get involved, but you just sit back and just root on that puck hitting the goalie in any fashion. Just Florida shoot that puck, and as long as he blocks it, it's obviously a save. Last 3 years, no team has shot more than Florida, so I expect them to be dictating the pace, and I think that's a fun way to watch it. Instead of, I bet 5 guys to get shots in various degrees. I'm happy to talk about them, but I think one just easy to root on. Just yell "shoot the puck" every time they're in the zone.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we're very capable of that. Cool, good stuff. Talking all things hockey, NHL with our guy Griffin. Make sure to go toss him a follow on X at Griffey Bets. We appreciate him joining us. Dave, you good? I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm briefed. I feel like I'm ready to go.
I wrote down the bets. We're putting those bets in blindly.
Sam Bennett tomorrow as a goal. If you need a goal bet, he's plus 420. I love Sam Bennett tomorrow. I bet every
and I like the plus 420 too. That feels.
Griffin,
like
wait, one more before you go. So I love to put in parlays for $10 to pay $800. Is there any right? Not saying they hit, but if you had to throw out a wild parlay for this game 1, what would you kind of put together in a parlay for hockey?
Yeah, so I would say throw in Sam Bennett, maybe just his point, which is a goal or an assist if you want to be a little more conservative.
Ooh.
Something Sam Bennett.
Okay.
I would say throw in Stuart Skinner's saves, throw in some guys' shots. So I'll say Gustav Forsling. Forsling is a Florida defenseman. He's been shooting the puck like crazy. Let's see. Throwing Bennett's shots also. I would say Alexander Barkov is their captain. He loves playing Edmonton. He's got 5 goals in his last 4 against them.
Wow.
So his shots, he loves shooting against them. Also, his shots, his goal. Those are a couple names I'm invested in tomorrow. And I think you toss in, the goalie saves. It's very correlated. So if a Florida guy's shooting at him, hopefully it's building up together if you add the save. So those are a couple guys I'm on tomorrow.
All right, I'm literally going to put all of those together into a parlay. So if it hits, beer's on me.
We will make sure to tag you. Make sure to go follow him on social media. He is at Griffey Bets. Griffin, I appreciate you dropping in here to help us out with some hockey. Tell everybody, and hopefully we have some hockey people that are kind of listening to the show. Tell everybody where they could follow along with you and all your writing, all your work.
Yeah, good. Griffey Bets on Twitter. I'm at Yardbarker. I work for Sportsline 2 with CBS Sports, so I'm on some shows there. I'm in Gold Boys Discord also, always sweating out the bets with the fellas every night. So nice. I haven't known what to do the last 5 days. I've been going to bed at like 9. It's been kind of awesome, to be honest, but I'm excited to sweat out bets again for the next couple weeks.
It'll be a lot of fun. Make sure to go toss them a follow so you could sweat along these bets with us. Appreciate you popping in here, man.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. We need it.
We need it. That was a good breakdown, Dave. We needed it. It was good. I feel way more prepared now than I did this morning.
I took copious notes.
I see it. I like the notes right in the show notes.
I feel like that'll be a big payout.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Let's get it boosted for Tipico.
It really seems like Edmonton is kind of like the feel-good story, but Florida's probably going to win it and just pull for chaos from there.
Dude, who knows? I thought the Mavs would look good in game 1, so whatever.
Let's talk about that. We'll flip the page. NBA Finals Game 2 tip off on Sunday. The Dallas Mavericks are 7.5-point dogs in that game. Game 2 will be at the TD Garden in Boston. Boston leads this series 1-0. Game 1, Dave, never particularly close. There was a moment where Dallas was able to cut it to 8 in that second half, but it just felt like it was all Boston all night. And Dallas has to get something out of somebody outside of Luka if they're going to have a chance in this series. He only had 12 points in game 1.
Dude, I hated seeing Kyrie lose to Boston.
Me too.
From just like an individual level for game 1.
Yeah.
He's got to step it up in Boston.
Did you see his quote afterwards?
I did not know. What?
So, I mean, he's got to now really show up because he said he expected it to be louder in there than what it was.
What an idiot. All right, so Kyrie's still an idiot saying weird stuff all the time. Kyrie, come on, man. He better step it up.
He's got to step it up for game 2. They need some sort of support. They also could probably try to find a way to slow down Kristaps Porzingis. He had 20 points.
Off
Almost
the bench.
all of those were in the first half as well. I believe he had 18 first half points in that. So they're going to be this could be another easy spread for Boston to cover if Kyrie Irving doesn't step up for the Mavericks. We're looking at Boston
we need
minus
like
12
a Kyrie LeBron 41-40 game.
Yeah. In game 2.
Luka, Kyrie to mirror that. If anyone's going to do it, it's those two.
Yeah. All right, let's do that. We could go Mavs plus 7.5, Kyrie and Luka both over 25, be a little bit more conservative.
How about both over 30?
30? That'd be super fun.
But if we're doing that, we're going to do Mavs to win. Money line.
At that point, you might as well. Yeah.
I mean, I just did that and it flopped, so let's run it back.
All right, we'll run it back for game 2 on Sunday. Yeah, they got to get some sort of contribution out of literally anybody else.
Anyone.
And then how about even like if you bet on Boston in that game, it's probably not even like you cleaned up all like that because Tatum was really bad.
Yeah.
So if you had Tatum in your parlay, that probably didn't hit either. Felt like game 1 was a goofy game for betting. They usually are.
Sportsbooks won game 1.
Sportsbooks won game 1. We got to bounce back for game 2. Hopefully the main guys, Kyrie, Luka, Tatum, all have big games so we all are able to cash our parlays.
That's right. Boost them up, baby.
Boost them up. All right, we'll go back to Saturday.
Okay.
MLB Guardians are on Fox. Little primetime Gardos, one of the best teams in baseball. I'd say very, very well deserved.
40 wins.
40 wins.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Crazy. So the 40-win Cleveland Guardians will head to Miami, where they'll play the Marlins. This is game 2 of the series on Saturday. The Marlins, Dave, not very good. They're 21-41 at the time that we're recording this. It's going to be Ben Lively for the Guardians on Saturday, and we have had a lot of success betting on Mr. Lively, and I think we've kind of coined him. He is the Guardians' Joe Flacco.
I love that. I love that. Yes, and I've always hated the Marlins ever since 1997.
Okay.
So, Nick, how old were you in 97?
A -1.
Exactly. Look it up. Horrible team.
Yeah. I understand. Trust me. I've been around and lived here. And
You have
here,
Google?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, not a Marlins fan. Let's go trounce them.
Yeah, let's go trounce them for sure. And when you look at some of these players on Miami, I think we could have a lot of fun fading the Marlins, betting against, unders on Tim Anderson, who Jose Ramirez knocked out last year, unders on Josh Bell, who stole a ton of money from the Guardians last year before he was released. So I think not only doing overs for our guy Lively on Saturday, but some unders against Tim Anderson. Hopefully he's still conscious after Jose knocks him out again tonight. And then Josh Bell as well, under for tomorrow too.
And I feel like we've done a good job with the big play boost on home runs. Pickers.
We've been doing the home run derby.
Yeah, some of those parlays haven't hit, but the
home runs are hitting.
Have.
Yep.
So who do we like in this? Are we going Jose?
I think we got Jose. So we got Jose Friday night, and he had just homered Thursday night.
Right.
And 3 straight games with a homer is kind of crazy.
That's tough.
In Miami, weather's gonna be nice though.
What do you think?
Jose's been so hot.
I pick someone else. Who else do you like for a home run? Don't pick Bo Naylor.
We got our new intern Luke in here.
Yes.
We are gonna let Luke make a celeb pick for a home run on Saturday night. And your mic isn't on, so. Josh Naylor?
Yeah, that's a safe one. I like it.
Josh Naylor is the pick from our new intern Luke. So that'll be fun. And then that stacks up right away, Dave, to be a big parlay. If we go over Lively strikeouts, obviously Guardians to win, Naylor home run, and then you could throw in some unders on Tim Anderson and Josh Bell just because screw both of those guys.
Yeah, let's build a parlay around that.
Yeah, so boom, there's your big play boost in prime time for our Guardians in Miami on Saturday.
There we go. Love it.
All righty. I think that's a show.
That's a show.
Big play, big bets.
A lot of bets.
Always presented to you guys by Tipico. Really fun to get Griffin Carroll in here. Huge shout out to him at Griffey Bets on social media. We are primed to bet on some hockey. That's huge for us. New development on the show.
I don't think I've ever put in a hockey bet. No, I probably have.
I think they've given me like a $5 hockey bet credit.
I've done some
just
Blue
built
Jackets.
like a crazy parlay, just money line. Just what I would do for college basketball. I would just pick a bunch of
But now we know what we're doing.
But now we know what we're doing.
We have a script.
We have a 7-game series on our hands, so we are locked and loaded for the Stanley Cup final, for the NBA finals. Yep. We need Kyrie to bounce back, and then MLB, we are locked and loaded for our Guardians this weekend against the Miami Marlins. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Big Play, Big Bets. Make sure you go download that Tipico Sportsbook app now. Start getting your cash back. Use our promo code BPBets150. When you deposit $150, you'll get 2 $75 protected bets on us to get yourself rolling with our friends at Tipico. We'll be back live next week for Big Play, Big Bets. We will see you guys then.